What's going on, guys? My name is Amir Bahaldi. I'll be talking about art. Today I'll be talking about art, drawing, dash painting. So, what is art? Does anyone have an idea of what art is? Any hands? Can I see?
A form of self-expression.
Alright, very good. Anyone else? Anyone else who knows what art? Anyone else? Another hand? Please share your ideas. Who knows what art is? Okay, Marco.
Art is for expression.
Alright, expression, okay. So this is a definition that I made based on my research and comprehension towards what art is. Art is creating an imagination and an act of expressing oneself through technical skills intended to portray the beauty and emotions with their masterpiece. So art is not just the aesthetics itself, but it also focuses more on the artists themselves, on how they portray their beauty and emotions towards their masterpiece. That's what art is. Alright, so let's go far back to history and talk about the three classical branches of art. First we have is painting. As you guys can see here, I'm sure most of you guys are very familiar with this painting right here, made by the man himself, Leonardo da Vinci. Next we have is sculpture. And last but not the least, we have is architecture. So, what is the purpose of art? The purpose of art is to communicate ideas, to create a sense of beauty, see aesthetics, to explore nature of perception, for pleasure or to generate strong emotions. The purpose may also be seemingly non-existent. So since we've talked about some of the history of art, let's focus more on the modern art, the art that we're very familiar with, that we see almost every day. So first we have is representational art. I'm very sure you guys are very familiar with this art. This is like the most common art that we see most of the time. It aims to represent actual objects from reality. It includes realism, impressionism, idealism, and stylization. Alright, next we have is abstract art. Here, abstract art is the often misunderstood type of art known as abstraction. Aims to take object from reality but present them in a way that is different from the way we are viewed in our reality. Next, last but not least, we have is non-objective art. This is often mistaken for abstract art, although it is entirely different from it. This art takes nothing from reality. It is purely for aesthetic reasons. So as you guys can tell, it's very similar to abstract art, but the only difference is that abstract art has a meaning to it. Like, it's not just art itself for aesthetics, but it has a meaning, it has a reality to it. This one is basically focused on just aesthetics. Next. Alright, so when did I start drawing? I started drawing when I was around 5 to 6 years old. That's where I started. And I started to see potential as when I was like 10 to 15 years old. That's where I started to improve. So as you guys can see, these are some of my old art. To be honest, to be frank with you guys, I was actually kind of embarrassed to show you guys this. But the reason why I did so is because I thought that maybe this will help you motivate you guys, especially the ones who are into arts. Maybe this right here will help you guys improve or maybe inspire to be a greater artist one day. Alright, so here are just some of this style that I'm very familiar with. I'm going to show you guys some of the before and after and how I developed throughout the years. And hopefully you guys get inspired with us and maybe even become, like motivated to draw more or to get more. So as you guys can see, I went from that to this, or that. Next we have is pen art. As you guys can tell, not only the art itself has evolved, but also the photography. So yeah. So I went from this to that. Next we have is portrait realism. I went from this to that. Wow. So next we have is pencil color. Next we have this pencil color. I went from this to that. As you guys can see, I made these. I was actually very proud of those back then. I was very proud of them. And the funny thing is that I made those out of MS Paint. And I had no any drawing equipment. That I used like literally just a mouse, but not a regular mouse. I used the pad thing to draw that. So yeah. And yeah, I was doing that. So hopefully, yeah, guys, like so yeah, guys, all I want you guys to know is like people nowadays always tend to compare each other to compare one another. But I just want you guys to know that especially commonly with like talent or skills, people always tend to compare each other. But I just want you guys to know that I was also there. I used to like compare myself, like my cousin herself, she's also an artist. I used to always compare my art with her art. Like I used to be like, her art was amazing. Like I used to always compare, like I used to like look at it back then as a kid. I used to be like, oh man, she's so freaking good. I'm never gonna be as great as her one day. I used to always discourage myself. But now thinking about it as I mature, I always think that all of them were in your shoes. You know, if you think about it, all of them were in your shoes. It's just a matter of hard work. You put in the amount of practice and commitment. Commitment basically leads to success. So I just want to read this short quote for you guys. Artwork is often just a series of choices, but a truly work of art is a gift from God. Like, so yeah, guys. Before I end my presentation, I just wanna talk about more. I just wanna talk more about digital painting instead. For those maybe who are interested in digital painting, I wanna demonstrate something, and I wanna like give you guys some tips for the mistake I have done since I've started just recently, so you guys don't do the same mistake I have done. All right. So as you guys can see here. So as you guys can see here, the first tip, the most important tip when you start digital painting is never ever forget the layers, okay? These layers that you guys see here is very important, because once you mess that up, you could mess up the whole art. So let me show you guys here. This is like very sad. This is really sad because I've been working hard on this and I just like messed the whole thing up by just missing a layer. Always the most important layer is the background. Don't ever forget the background, because see, this looks very plain, right? Like don't you guys think it would look better with the background on? But like I can't incorporate that, unfortunately, because I messed up the whole thing. So let me show you guys my mistake here. Messed up. As you guys can see here, I wanna let's say I wanna add a background. You see? I tried to put it back. Look what happened to his eyes. Look at his name and everything. That's like one of my biggest mistakes here. But as I have learned from your mistakes, as I have learned from my mistakes, this is my improvement right here. Good. You see?
What the blue one?
You know, Blue Panthers. Blue Panthers, I don't think.
Wait long.
Blue Panthers may pwede.
So yeah, here guys.
Majestic. It looks like Harry.
So here, I added, as you guys can see here, I've added a background. So like if I were to add like if I were to like wanna like design the background, look. You see? Everything is all nice and clear. Basically. You guys get the concept, right? Yeah, so pretty much. So I have arranged just a mini game for you guys. I want like you guys to try this as well. I want you to experience digital painting. So what I've done is I need like 2 volunteers. I need 2 volunteers to try to sketch this one. The best sketch out of the 2 wins this. I mean, who doesn't want free chocolate, right? Don't worry to mess up. I'll teach you guys how to use this one. So any volunteers? Alright.
Is there a
I'm the volunteer. This is my secret talent, guys.
Ayan na sila panalo. Brian! Gusto niya ako. Dali lang yun. Sorry, pros don't play. Sir, Brian will try. Sultan, ikaw na lang.
Coaches don't play.
Oh! Paano makikita siya? Mike. Ayun na, iba yung drawing ni Brian dyan. Advance yun.
Wait lang, wait.
Ano ginagawa niya? Ginagawa ka?
Ba't wala?
Walang kulay.
Walang ink? No ink! Tinatouch ko ba?
Laking dede mo ha.
Ayun, meron na. May ink na.
Bili kayo sa baba. May pinta doon.
Like, ganito?
Pero okay lang pag close lang.
Go lang. Ayan na.
Wait. Paano mag-erase?
Control C.
Sorry kailangan din ng time.
Control C. C. Ay, wait mo.
Ang hirap?
Baliktad din. Linya mo.
Ano mo gagawin? Hindi kami.
Okay, wala lang.
Drawing mo may doon.
Si ano daw, si ano rin.
Like for this
Na lang? Ha? Okay, ikaw na.
Assignment lang yun.
How many years?
Para ice.
Whoever passes the drawing gets a pass.
Diabetes yun.
Diabetes.
Mapudol pa ako.
Parang
Ba't tayo kapag?
serious naman.
Ako sa pinaka-kulang.
Kaya ba?
Bigay mo na lang yung chocolate. Bigay na yung chocolate. Wala akong gusto mag-order na isa eh.
Hindi ko nakikita.
Kailangan.
Copy-paste mo na lang. So, ito yung guys, ito yung ulo.
Yes.
Sa ilan? Ito, may jawline siya dito. Ayan, nakikita. May jawline yan. Yan. Tapos, yan, ito yung ulo yan. Sorry, medyo abnormal ako sa sablad eh. Yan, ito yung panga. Yan, nakaside view kasi siya.
Medyo pumuyo.
Nakaside view kasi siya.
Diyos na baka mga.
Parang kung nakasita mo yan.
Tapos, wait lang, guys. Ito yung tenga.
Oh, ganyan.
Ayan, yung tenga yan.
Grabe, ang laki.
Tapos, ito yung
Here we are drawing Raphael's nipples.
Pero mo na. Naka-side view siya eh.
Isa pa.
Tapos, meron pa dito yan. Oh, panis. Yan, tapos. Yan, meron pa dito. Tapos.
Ano ginagawa mo? Bola?
Ako yan.
Ginagaya ko lang yan!
Turtle.
Okay, please guys, give him a round of applause. Next, Andre.
Pangit na! Who's that? Si Merapis ko.
Technique, gumawa ka.
Gano'n ako siya sa barangay.
Hindi, gumawa ka kasi
bata. Bata pa yun. Siyempre malaki na yung drawing. Oh, bata.
Ay, drawing ng example pala. Ayan, perfection.
Jerome, dapat ito na ito.
Ano date na yun mamaya?
Go, Andre!
Para sa chocolate. Para sa diabetes.
Emma, one shot. Microscope, my heart. Yeah, look at this. Today, Andre will be drawing FS Studio logo. Rafael, FS Studio logo. Ha? Logo ng FS Studio.
Siguro penis na daw.
Rafael,
Pag-galing si target natin.
so, Rafael, murang buwag.
Nagiginig ba siya?
Strawberry.
Andre,
Mike.
malamig ba?
Mike.
Okay lang yan.
Si Mike hindi ka.
Strawberry.
Mike.
Malay mo may ano.
Murag deep blue.
Ayaw man.
Yo, Andre, so sick. I like it. I like it. Grabe, macho yung
Di ba nananalo? Yung sa drawing na yan, may ibal pa
Ayan, oh.
May babae. Ay, alam na sino panalo.
Gusto yung sick. Gusto ko na rin mag-throw.
Bigyan mo yung chocolate. Alam na. Alam na. Alam na. May si Walter yan.
Bros.
Okay, guys, give them a round of applause. Guys, we have so it used to be just two people, but like we have. Sorry for making you guys wait too long, but we have one more.
Who will be the
Sige, I'll draw on behalf of love.
Alright, sige, so thank
Uy,
you.
wag na. Eman, go. Eman, si Eman. Si Eman! Sige, Brian. Brian, nice man. Sige, mag-draw.
Guys, magtatagal tayo. Sige, sorry. Oh, sige lang. Alright, so guys, I will leave this to the crowd. Who you guys think did?
Number 2.
Did-
Number 2.
Raise your hands. Raise your hands for this. Raise your hands for Joshua.
Joshua!
Alright, raise your hands for Andre. Alright, I guess we have a winner. Okay. If Gray is kind enough, she will share some with you. Alright, so that's it guys. Thank you for listening.